Who would you become if you spent your entire life to fulfill one goal, just to have it ripped away from you? 12 years of rage, 12 years of war, 12 years in search of vengeance. Thorfinn, son of Thors, was the youngest Viking to join the Battle of England. But after seeing his father slaughtered, Thorfinn's only goal was to become strong enough to defeat his father's murderer, Askeladd. Thorfinn was only 6 years old when he became part of Askeladd's band of pirates, and despite his hatred towards him, Askeladd became almost like a father figure. Thors, Thorfinn's father, was brave, kind, and against fighting at all costs. Even after being shot by multiple arrows, his final words to his son were not expressing love, regret, or sadness. Thors' final words were the secret to becoming a true warrior. A piece of advice Thorfinn wouldn't understand until much, much later. I think it's important to have goals. They can make it easier to move forwards, even when things are tough. For Thorfinn, this goal of getting revenge keeps him alive, but not necessarily living. He's got one purpose, which blinds him of the beauty and happiness in the world. His mind is like a Viking ship sailing across the vast ocean, never veering off course. To reach his final destination, there is only one real option: to sail straight ahead, fighting the waves and surviving long enough to complete his mission. Most people have some kind of goal. Maybe it's the next step in your career, building a family, or just getting out of bed every morning. I tend to struggle with goals as I want to do a lot of different things, but Thorfinn, with winds in his sails, is constantly moving towards his dream. Thorfinn is the son of Thors, a powerful Viking who went into hiding to protect his family. Thors might have been the strongest of all men, but realized that war never brings happiness. A true warrior doesn't need a sword. A true warrior doesn't have to hurt others. A true warrior doesn't have any enemies. Thors lives by these truths and becomes a farmer on Iceland, escaping his past until his old gang of Vikings finds him. Thors is forced to join the War of England and is asked to bring some strong young men. On their way to join the forces, Thors' ships are attacked by a band of pirates. He quickly realizes he can't beat the pirates all by himself while also keeping his companions safe, so Thors decides to duel the leader of the pirates. Being the strong warrior he is, Thors defeats the pirate and expects to leave, but that's when Thorfinn, who was stowed away on the ship, gets held as a hostage. Thors has to agree to a new deal, a deal made by the pirate leader. Thors head for the safety of the rest of his crew. Seeing his son in danger, Thors solemnly agrees. Askeladd, the leader of the pirates, orders Thors' death right in front of Thorfinn. Thorfinn, being 6 years old, swears to one day kill Askeladd and get revenge for his father. He gets the chance soon after while Askeladd is asleep, but Thorfinn knows it has to be an honorable duel, which is why he joins Askeladd's gang. For the next 12 years, Thorfinn survives raids, is starved and kills more people than he can count, all for the purpose of getting strong enough to beat Askeladd. Thorfinn really has a one-track mind. It's set in stone by someone else and he can't change direction. Being a Viking, his mind would be a ship sailing towards an unexplored piece of land. In a way, the country of Vinland, a bountiful, warm and peaceful land, is the perfect example of what Thorfinn is sailing towards. Something he's never seen before or experienced. But during a long journey, you can't expect it to go smoothly. Storms will make it hard to navigate, big waves might push you off course, and you need trustworthy comrades to help you reach land. For Thorfinn, the biggest storm reveals itself in his unfortunate allegiance to Askeladd. Having to follow Askeladd's orders in exchange for a chance of dueling him has Thorfinn killing people who might not deserve it. He also has to help Askeladd in his siege on England, which in turn leads them to Thorkel. Thorkel used to know Thorfinn's father and is known as the strongest man alive. Thorfinn is tasked to kill Thorkel, but at the same time he wants any information on his father he can get. For a brief moment, Thorfinn lost track of his goal until he defeated Thorkel in a duel. The information shared wasn't revolutionary, some extra details about Thor's life before moving to Iceland, but when the storm lifted, Thorfinn set sail once again, straight towards vengeance. As I've gotten older, I've come to realize, and maybe you can relate to this as well, that the goals I have had throughout my life, of getting good grades, to find a good job, to live comfortably, have actually just been outside pressures turning themselves into a fear of failure. Since I finished my degree and I'm now looking for jobs in a field I'm not truly passionate about, I've had to come to terms with the fact that I've done a lot of things in life on autopilot. Just kept on doing what I assumed to be the right thing to do, without any specific reason. As Thorfinn was waiting for his next duel with Askeladd, something unexpected happened. Like a huge wave forcing the ship off course, Askeladd is killed. The one goal, the one purpose, the one reason for living Thorfinn had, vanished. Still in his ship sailing towards nothing on the open seas, Thorfinn stumbles. Askeladd didn't fall to his hands. He wasn't allowed to get revenge, and without the anger, hate, and suffering as a force to move him forwards, he becomes lost. The big waves didn't just put him off course, they completely deserted him in an ocean without the possibility of finding his way back. It's a pretty common feeling. I don't want anyone who feels lost to feel alone. I'm also lost. I've never been big on plans or dreams or goals. I never had a dream job, never had a profession I looked up to or a person I really wanted to be like. Sure, I enjoyed playing video games and the progress within them got me through some really bad times. But while the idea of becoming a streamer or YouTuber sounded nice on paper, it was never really a goal of mine. What I was doing when I reached the highest rank in Counter-Strike, when I was making videos as a 13-year-old, and when I streamed for 3 times every week for a minimum of 4 hours while in high school, it wasn't to achieve a goal. I did those things because they were a way for me to express something about myself. It took a lot of time for me, and it's never too late to change your mind, but I think I might have found what I'm passionate about. Just like Thorfinn. After Askeladd's death, Thorfinn becomes a slave. He doesn't care for his own well-being anymore. He has no desires and simply lives on because his body won't allow him to die. He is taken to a farm where he meets Einar, another slave in a similar position as Thorfinn. They are given the opportunity to buy their freedom through labor, but Thorfinn, however, couldn't care less at first. However, Thorfinn and Einar becomes friends, which helps him see the beauty in the simple life of a farmer. Thorfinn is haunted by nightmares of the people he has killed, and during a fight at the farm, he gets knocked out and sees a vision of his own hell. Hell is filled with the people he killed, in an endless battle against each other, trying to drag him down further into the pit of despair. But an unexpected ally helps him. In his hell, Thorfinn finds Askeladd, the man who he both hates, but was his main source of a male role model for many years. Askeladd tells him that he can't make the situation better for the people he killed, and he can never atone for what he has done, but he can try to crawl out of the pit. The vision helps Thorfinn understand his father's advice. A true warrior doesn't need a sword. You don't have any enemies. From that moment, Thorfinn swears an oath to never harm another person. As he and Einar work to get free, Thorfinn creates a new goal for himself. Sail to Vinland and create the bountiful land with no war, where everyone is welcome. Thorfinn had a trustworthy comrade who helped him steer the ship, who makes sure he doesn't have to carry every heavy load by himself, and who supports his decisions even if they might not make sense to him. Einar becomes Thorfinn's first friend, helps him through the years as a slave, and as they are set free, they help each other in reaching their goals. My goals have been very shifting, but I've come to learn that my goal is, and always has been, to express myself in one way or another, every day. I want to write more, be more creative, and create things that bring value to those around me. It's been hard. I've had many storms loom over me. I've been pushed off course by many waves, and I struggle with interpersonal connections. But despite all that, I can safely get into my ship and sail on towards the sunset. It's okay to struggle with goals, dreams, and expectations. It's just human. But if you need to rest up a bit, feel free to tie down those sails and dock in this harbor. I want to hear what keeps your ship sailing, even when it storms and the waves grow taller. The best way to do that is by subscribing and leaving a like for more videos like this. If you have any suggestions on what character you want me to discuss next time, feel free to leave a comment down below. A huge shout out to Thors for recommending Bigby from The Wolf Among Us as the next character for this series. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Turtle-kun. Remember to eat well, sleep well, and I will see you in the next video.